Okay.
Hello, 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 everyone. It's Thursday night, and I'm thrilled to pieces to be here with my good friend, Dr. Michael Gross. He's looking for something really quick. I hit the start live, and he wasn't quite ready, so I apologize for that. Michael, if you need to step away, you can, and I'll just do the introduction.
Yep.
Okay? Okay.
Yeah.
I've known Dr. Michael Gross for a little over 5 years now, and I am totally, totally, totally blessed and grateful that he's in my life. He woke up my soul one day, and it was a beautiful story that I'll share with you some other time. But it was the most amazing experience. And what I'll do right now, while he's looking for his project, is I'll introduce you. He's a professional keynote speaker, energy transformational coach, entrepreneur, and the author of The Spiritual Primer, applying God's 12 transformational laws to reawaken your soul by reconnecting to God, the true source, to experience your true source's love, joy, and happiness. Michael is he's a phenomenal person. He's a spiritual teacher, a multidimensional healer, a transformational coach who's exceptionally skilled at all aspects of soul, over soul, vibrations, frequencies, body timing, life force energies, and more. He holds many degrees in some of them here. I'm giving you the abbreviated version. If you go to his website, drmichaelgross.com, you'll be able to learn more about him. I'll also put all his contact information in our comment section. But for over 30 years, Dr. Michael Gross has been doing his beautiful work, and he holds many degrees, some of which include a doctorate of alternative healing psychology. He's also a Reiki master teacher, a thought field therapist, certified professional hypnotherapist, and a non denominational minister. His clients go, I will say, around the world. He has clients in Australia, in Canada, um, Korea, all over the US, and more. I don't even know where they go anymore. There's so many of them all over the place right now. And I love the fact that Michael's able to do all his energy work no matter where he is, no matter where you are. So definitely, wherever you are, make sure you take a few minutes to connect with him because he offers a complimentary consultation. And on that note, welcome back, Michael.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
and I will say thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're here every Thursday night at 7. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the floor over to Michael so that he can talk about the topic, and I'll put his information in the chat. Okay?
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. What a wonderful day. What a wonderful evening. And thank you so much for being part of this. Life is going at such a fast pace. And it's kind of like if you don't know where you're going, you can't get lost. That's been my cliche and motto you've heard for a long time.
It's the first day of spring, Michael.
Yeah, it is. It is the first day of spring, and that's really beautiful. And then April brings May showers. What's it? April brings showers, May bring May flowers. That's it. How to get it right. But I thought this evening I'd be channeling the information of finding harmony and balance in your life. And I watch TV very little, um, maybe a whole week, maybe 2 hours, maybe an hour a week, an hour and a half. Lately, I've been watching a little bit of the news, and I decided, nah, I don't want to watch the news very much because you get two opinions. You don't know if you're getting the truth anymore. You don't know whether you're being told lies, and the hidden agendas everybody has. Most of the newscasters, not all of them, it's like they're giving you snippets of information or little bits, and even some of the late night comedians are doing political things, and it's like really such a shame that we've lost respect. And then our country and the world is becoming divided with politically and financially and whatever else is going on. So I thought this evening, with True Inner Source guidance, is for all of us how to find harmony in our life. And most importantly is, when you take a horse and they have these leather blinders so the horse can only look straight ahead, couldn't look left, couldn't look right. And that's so important for us to look at now. Just focus on what brings you joy and happiness. Set aside all the political stuff because it can be frightening, can be angry, and maybe some of the political things you hear are true, some of they aren't. But it's important for you is to change your life is to change your thinking. It's a quote from the true source. And think about it. Change your life, change your thinking. And now you're being asked in the age of Aquarius that's going to last 20 years, what are you going to do to create in your life love and joy and happiness or harmony? Because to me, love and joy and happiness is part of harmony. So, what are you going to do to create harmony in your life? Well, first of all, there's something important that you all need to do, and that is stop looking at all the news, okay? Whether this person, this political character, that political character, whatever it is. And everything has a spin on it unless you hear it. And with AI, you don't know whether it's been doctored up or not. I was watching Morgan Freeman, who's one of my favorite actors, and he was talking and talking. I said, well, something doesn't feel right, but that's Morgan. At the very end, they flashed off Morgan, and there was a man using AI speaking like Morgan Freeman, because that's what AI did. And I thought it was Morgan Freeman. I mean, the message was fine, so there was nothing, no harm done. But we don't know really what to believe. And I've often talked about critical thinking. So let's say you are your therapist. You become your therapist. And if I'll pretend I'm you talking to yourself. Well, Michael, what would bring you love and joy and happiness? Let's divide. What would bring you happiness in your life? What would you desire? Why don't you write that down and what you get? What would leave you love in your life? And then write that down. What would bring you joy? Leave out the equation money. Leave out that equation. And you're probably wondering why. Because money is a vehicle, it's just nothing but an exchange of energy. You work at a store, you dig a ditch, whatever, you're compensated. And I learned a long time ago from another sage, and she was saying, when I was talking to her about my being in service to others, she said, if I ask you to dig a ditch and gave you a shovel, the shovel will make the shape of the ditch, but your energy will dig it. But yeah, you're right. And I thought about that. So look about your energy. What are you creating in your life? And what do you desire that will give you joy and happiness? Make a list over the 7 days that we'll be speaking again. 7 things divided up, 2 apiece, and 1 will have an extra. Love, joy, and happiness. All right. And I was recently looking at something from Steve Jobs. And he said something really interesting. I don't remember all of it because there was a lot of information. But when he birthed out his body, he was worth $7 billion. That's with a B, like in Barbara. $7 billion. He was known as being critical, very hard, and a workaholic. And being a workaholic, he had great demands for everybody, and he was a tough taskmaster. But he did make Apple very successful in their software. Then he left for a while, and it started going downhill, and they got rid of the new president, brought him back. And he turned the company around. And this is what he said. The $30 watch will get you the same time as a $300 watch. A $2,000 used car will get you there as the same as a $100,000 car. And money cannot buy perfect health. And he went on to some others. And when you stop to think of it, I've always wanted a Rolex watch. And I had a chance to buy one before I came here, which I should have bought it because I will tell you, it was like $10,000 wholesale. It was diamonds, 18 karat gold, a lot of money. You know what it'd be worth today? Over 100,000. So looking at that, but I didn't buy it. And I was at the jeweler's getting a battery in my watch. And I happened to say, are Rolexes any better? And she said, it's a good watch, but there are others that are cheaper that are just as good. She said, I had a Rolex. Had. I said, well, why did you had it? She said, well, you have 3 years, you have to get it cleaned. And you get it cleaned, a new battery in it, and so on. Cost me $1,000, she said. What? Whoa. Nice to have a Rolex, and it's a good investment if you set it aside for now. But on the other hand, I don't want to spend $1,000 every 3 years to clean the watch. I could spend 100 or 200 or less every 10 years and get a new, Seiko, Citizen, or another brand. So when you think about that, or a lesser expensive brand, when you think about all that, and getting a used car gets you the same place as an expensive car, and so on and so forth. What is it in us and humans that we're trying to show off and show others that we're successful? Where's that need come from? Do we have low self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem? Do we not feel good about ourselves? Do we not feel worthy? Do we feel inferior? And I went through a phase in my life where I liked a lot of bling and all that stuff, which I wear very little today. And it was to look successful psychologically. But you know what happened? My market in sales eventually ended up being in New York City and in Canada. So I was sales manager in Canada and one of the high rollers, big producers in New York City. And this was interesting. In New York, if you look, you dress for success, you look success. And you went to New York and you went to the retailers selling wholesale. And if you looked successful, they would buy your product. You came up in dungarees or you weren't dressed to the nines, you didn't have jewelry, you didn't have fancy this or that, they wouldn't buy from you. So they were buying the image, thinking the product would be good because I must be successful because they knew I was on commission, so I was making a lot of money. Well, I made nice money, I'll just say that. And then I went for work for another company. It was in the Midwest. And there they valued your opinion and how you cared about them. Ended up in New England. Kind of interesting. So we look at the world with AI and they call ClickFunnels and all these wonderful things to do business. But you know what it comes down to? One-to-one. Do I trust you? Do I believe you? Do I accept you? And it starts with your belief within. I want to cover that, but I know Tia wants to say something.
Well, thank you, Michael. I do have a question because you're talking about, I always keep thinking that people are so focused on their money that their life becomes chaotic. They're out there working so hard. And I mean, we have our needs. Money is obviously a staple in our lives because we need food and shelter and clothing and all that. But when people have enough money or more than enough money and they go out and they like buy a sailboat or something because they're enjoying it, how do you determine whether that's you're buying it for the right reason? Because if you love what you're doing, then that could also be a vehicle to help you embrace another aspect of that love.
Exactly. So just look at this. If you desire to buy a boat to have fun and enjoy life, that's different. But if you're buying it to show off I'm successful and to create a facade that I'm important and I'm wonderful because I make a lot of money and kiss my grits, that's the wrong reason. But if you buy for your own fun and joy, I see some of these yachts that are millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. And I go, wow. And you need a staff to run it and all the tens of thousands of dollars it costs you to do that. Would I like my own private jet? Yes, I would. I'd have a lot of fun. But the cost of running your own private jet I don't know, I read with $5,000 or $6,000 an hour or some ridiculous amount of money. Maybe smaller planes or less, but I thought about all those things. And I can get anywhere I want to go by taking a commercial jet, and it's not going to cost me thousands of dollars per hour to travel. So, where are your priorities? What are you doing? What really would bring harmony and balance in your life? Are you in harmony with life? Are you looking over your shoulder? Are you trying to live up to the Joneses and all that stuff? And that's so important. So the truth of the matter is that your soul now, because of the age of Aquarius, which is truth, understanding, it's lies being exposed, compassion, love, so all those wonderful things. What is it that brings you that love? More importantly, the harmony in the life. Because you see, if you don't have self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem, all the cars, all the boats, all the homes, everything in your life isn't worth anything. There was a movie star who escapes his name. He played Waterboy in a comedy where he was supposed to be not too smart and playing Waterboy, and a couple of other ones. He played a golfer that he used to play a hockey player. He lives in California in a house that he bought years ago for about 350, 400,000, which is a housing tract. He doesn't have a maid, doesn't have bodyguards. He dresses casual, has nice cars, doesn't send his children to fancy schools, and he takes a lot of money that he makes and gives it to charity and help out homeless. I went, wow, what an amazing man. He's worth millions and millions and millions of dollars, gives some of it away, and he lives a very simple life like everybody else does. Isn't that beautiful? Because money with him is not important. You were going to say something?
Are you referring to Keanu Reeves?
No.
Okay, because I read an article about him. He's very, very influential and helpful as well. He lives a very modest life as well.
I think he lives in New York City, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
But it's the other one, another one. But he does do that. And he lives a very simple life. He has a couple of motorcycles, one nice car, and that's about it. We are at a precipice in our life where our soul is saying, wake up. What are your priorities in life? Where's your self-love and self-worth and self-esteem? What do you want your epitaph to be? And truly, who are your friends? Well, they say you're like your three closest friends are what you're like. So if you want to pretend you're wealthy, hang out with three wealthy friends, if you can find them. Or hang out with people that really care about your life and are thoughtful and are caring and will be there to help you. I have several friends that are worth in the seven figures and more. You would never know it. They just live an ordinary life. We have fun, we laugh. And the only difference is they may do a lot of vacations or travel because they like to do that. But that's about it. They drive normal cars, normal trucks, everything else. The energy on this planet is very frenetic, meaning it's very discombobulated. And we are getting sucked into the anger, the fear, the doubt, and the division. The astrologers tell me that the lineup of planets that will be taking place is the same when we had the American Revolutionary War, which was very chaotic, and the French Revolution. As I look around the world, and even people I talk to, there's hate, there's anger, there's jealousy, they're pointing fingers. they're not living a simple little life. And when we look at our children, the parents have spoiled them. They make them feel entitled. And they don't want to do things like we had to do. For example, I'm growing up, you want money? Yeah. Get a job. Okay. We're in the information world right now. But who's going to lead them following the correct information? Who's going to hold them the reins tight so they walk in the right direction? Who is going to show them and explain to them how to get along with one another in life other than texting each other and getting on the computer? Because that does not pertain. What it is how we have relationships. And the most important relationship we have to have is within ourselves. To accept ourselves as perfect, learning and growing ever more perfect. This is the direction of our life. This is what we came here to learn. I have offered many tools to many of you. And when I go, hey, have you done this? Oh, I forgot. Have you done that? I forgot. Anything that's important to you, you will never forget. Anything you dislike or feel it's a waste of time, you will forget. And that is what we need to do, is awaken to the gifts that we have, the gifts our parents and grandparents gave us, to the gifts that we learn to find joy and happiness in our life through self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. The gift of doing right action and correct exchange. There's a big one for you. Doing right action and correct exchange. I'm so amazed at how we judge and criticize a person and call them four-letter words. That was forbidden when I was growing up. That was a lack of respect. And little children will say, hi, Michael, hi to you. And it used to be Dr. Gross, Miss or Mrs. to you. They have lost respect because what's the in thing? Feel like part of the group. And when you're part of the group, you don't respect them, you don't honor them, you don't appreciate them. You in your mind draw them to your level or below your level to make yourself feel good or make you feel better than them. That's why soap operas are so big, is because people love looking at misery because their life is miserable. Hoping at a subconscious level how the soap opera gets through it, you're going to get through it. By now you're probably asking, okay, maybe this is true. How do I change? And the answer is so simple: reverse engineer. Well, what does that mean? Go back and see how you created it. Well, how did I create it? Lack of self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem, looking over your shoulder, wanting this, I want this, I want this, I want that, I want that. I have to have this certain clothing or Nike or certain sneakers or whatever. I have to have all those things. I want to feel special. You are special. You are different than everyone else, and everyone else is different from you. But the one common thread that you have is that you were created out of love, by love, from love, and with love, and that you are an aspect of the truth source. And maybe that person next to you is not behaving that way, unconditionally loving, allowing, and non-judgmental. But that does not preclude that you do that. And then you're worried, well, if I'm that way and don't criticize people, fall in the crowd, they think I'm weak, I'm stupid, I'm done. So you become a follower and not a leader now. As my mother would say, if everybody jumped off the Empire State Building, are you? And there would be some people that would. What your soul is asking you now is to find a new direction in your life. What your truth at 10 was different at 20, different at 30, different at 40, 50, and so on. Seek your truth. Seek who you are. Don't look over your shoulder. Seek something that gives you confidence. Seek something to realize that you are unlimited. What's different tonight is I'm giving you thought-provoking things to look into. I hope all of you will look into it. Yes, to you.
I do have a question for clarification, okay? Our soul already knows who we are and our mission and goal, am I right? So why is it so gosh darn difficult for people to just silence the chaos in their head long enough to listen to the whispers of their soul?
Ego. They're afraid of not being accepted. They're afraid of being lost. They're afraid of being judged and analyzed. If you start living your life to please others, to be accepted, lots of luck, because you'll never find your true self. Never discover the most amazing human being you are, the most amazing gifts you have, and the most amazing you can do to change your life and your family's life, to bring about the epitaph that Grandma, Grandpa changed my thinking. And through their examples, keyword examples, I now live my life with love and joy and success, because you are unlimited. Yes. So think about that, everyone, because I know we're running out of time. Next week, we're going to be exploring something a lot deeper, and there'll be channeled information and energy coming your way.
Thank you, Michael. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. So I'd like to address something, and that is every Tuesday evening, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time to 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. It's called Soul Awakening. And the Soul Awakening is done on freeconferencecall.com. So as I often say, you can be in your pajamas or whatever, I'll never know, and ask a question. And even if you know it, either ask it or listen. And it's very, very important that you do that. Soul awakening, think about that, to reawaken your soul. Tia, would you give them that information?
I'd be happy to. That number on Tuesday nights at 6:30 Pacific Daylight Time is 202-926-1059. And the access code, Michael?
125-446 #. One more time.
It's 202-926-1059. And the code, Michael?
125-446 #. Also, using the same telephone number, same codes, the second Saturday of every month. It's called the Mass Consciousness Healing. From 9:55 a.m. to 11:01. That's 67 minutes. Actually 66, but I'll make it 67 next Saturday. And it's so important that you join us, because you actually will feel and become a conduit for the true source of unconditional love, to bless this planet with unconditional love, the animal, mineral, and vegetable kingdom. It's a pet project of mine to have everyone on this planet begin to make the change. So last week or 2 weeks ago, we had it. Guess who was there? Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, the Archangel Michael, and the Archangel Gabriel. Well, you're going, well, how do I know? It's what I say. When others say, hey, I see the same thing, ding, 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 that means they were there. And again, using the same area codes, same confirmation, give that one more time to you.
Absolutely. 202-926-1059. And the code, Michael?
125-446 #.
And we all vote for pajamas.
Yep, you can have your pajamas on. I'll never know. One other item, or a couple of other items I'd like to cover. And that is, this is March 2025. And I'm doing a special workshop. In the workshop are the 12 manifestation protocols. There are 12. What's the difference? The difference with everybody else's creative visualization, blah, 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 blah. They all work to some degree. When we're working, we clean out the cobwebs, change your belief systems. Some you might not even be aware of. Some of the belief systems you picked up from your parents that you're not aware of. Other types of belief systems. And the difference is the true source's energy will be working with you. This is a gift that keeps on giving, because you can use it all your life if you so desire. At any given time, if something happens, you can always pick up the phone and say, Michael, I got a problem, and just sign it. By signing it, by saying, yes, I am here, I'm going to do it, I am committed. So it's an investment in your life. And the investment is, it keeps paying you back 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40. Once you learn the secrets of how to manifest things more quickly in your life. It starts on April 4th, Friday night, 5:30 to 7:30, Saturday, 9:30 to 5:30, Sunday, 9:30 to 4:30. I know you have a busy life, but if you employ these secrets, it will change your life forever. And hopefully you use it in your life forever.
That manifestation workshop is on Zoom online. And for more information, definitely reach out to Michael at Dr. Michael Gross, the number 7 at gmail.com.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
wanted to share that with all of you. And for those who say I saw it, there's a special price for all of you. So think about that. Give yourself the gift of creating the life you've often wanted to create with your soul. The last thing is that I give you a complimentary session for half an hour. The information is there. And I'm not going to sell you anything. I'll end up, we're in the middle of it. If I can help you, please let me know. That's it. And if you say, answer that, bless your soul. You're happy. Who knows, 10 years from now, you may say, hey, I need help, or maybe not. But I look at the work I do as a service. This is not a job. It's a service to empower you. I interrupted you. What were you saying?
That's okay. There is one other message regarding your recordings, Michael.
Yes, you can watch the replays. So every Tuesday night, when we're doing Soul Awakening, I have a 10-minute message. They're about 364, 365. And you can listen to them on your phone, or you can listen to them on the computer. When you're angry, when you're upset or lost or whatever, you're home or driving home, stuck in traffic, play them. So you probably wonder, well, 364, 65, which one is the best thing for me? I have forgotten to label each one. True Source said, no, you didn't. So why? You want to read through 364, 65 labels? I don't have the time. Trust, this is where the trust comes in. Trust your soul. I don't know, I think I'll listen to 121. You listen to go, oh, I get a response. I listened to it, just what I needed to hear. Listen to them. It's empowering. And if you heard them, play it again, because there'll be another message. And it's so important. Tia, give them that information.
Okay, that number is a little bit different. That number is 434-300-4170. And the access code, Michael?
125446 pound.
One more time. That's 434-300-4170. And the code, Michael?
125446 pound. So join us and go to YouTube, and there's a replay of what Tia and I have done, and there's some audios with award-winning picture, who Tia is an award-winning photographer, and take a look at her pictures, look at the message, listen to the audio part of it. There are not 365 of them, but there's enough. So everyone, take advantage of it. Change your life, change your thinking, and remember, are you a slave of your fears or master of your life? The next thing I would like to share with you is this beautiful book. And this beautiful book written by Tu Nap. There we go. And it's all about healing the holes in your soul. It's about finding yourself. A book of inspiration, a book of tears, a book of hardship, and a book of rebirth and empowerment. This is a must read. And as I said to you often, I like the guy that wrote the foreword.
Thank you, Michael, for your kind words on my book. And yes, that amazing the guy who wrote the foreword in that book is the incredible guy who is also the author of this book, which is the second edition of the Spiritual Primer. His first edition was amazing, and this one's even packed with more golden nuggets. And had it not been for this, the desire for me to read this book and meet this incredible gentleman on my virtual screen here, that book that he's holding in his hand would never even be in existence. I would still be sitting somewhere in my low self-worth, self-love, and low self-esteem in the swell of the gutter somewhere. But he came in one day and woke up my soul and lifted me out of that disgusting gutter. And he's raised me into this beautiful world of amazing grace. And I am eternally grateful to this gentleman who is now hiding behind my book. I mean, I am truly, truly blessed beyond any kind of, I can't thank you enough, Michael, on how you've changed my life. And it's the work that we do together, the energy that you share with me, the things that you've taught me. They're golden nuggets. And all of those manifestation workshops that I've attended and the cellular release that I've done, everything is just another step in my journey of spiritual growth. And I would never, ever, ever even be doing this had it not been for you. So I just truly appreciate everything you do for us, not just me, but for everybody else who takes the time to listen to you and join in your complimentary consultation. I'm going to put my book down. This is a beautiful golden nugget. It's a treasure. It's priceless. It saved my life. Michael, you saved my life.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So my book is not on Amazon. It's sold out.
$500.
And they have a used book for $500. So
I saw it there.
I will be shipping when I get around to it. I say it every week, but when I get around to it, shipping them some more books. But I like saying, hey, the book is $500. The book is $29.95. I'll give you a personal inscription, and there's no shipping and handling. So what you pay, $29.95, that's what you pay, and you'll be receiving the book with some little message for you.
So reach out to us for either one of our books, right, Michael?
Yes.
We put golden nuggets in each one, and the beautiful energy of love that you also enhance around that book, in that book, through that book. Your words are amazing. I'm sorry, I had to just say that.
That's okay. Thank you. So everyone, take us up. Take me up on the book, to use books. They're a great pair. It's a great book to use as a reference, and it's something you're going to use over and over and over again.
And they're beautiful gifts. Easter's coming.
Yes, it is. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Remember, when you go to YouTube, push the subscribe button, because according to the algorithm, the more people I have watching, the more people I get my message to. Therefore, all of you, I want all of you to know that you're very special, that you deserve a life of harmony, because you are unlimited, and you are the SOUL and SOLE creator of your life. Thank you, everyone. Take care. We love you.
Thank you, Michael. Namaste.
Thank
we
you.
love you. We'll see you next week. Stay tuned. There might be another sudden video regarding the workshop coming up. So stay tuned.
Thank you.
Good night.